Oh, Jesus Christ. Good morning, YouTube, and welcome to the Catwith channel. Once again, here we are, my friends, back on the road, off on the bike for a little ride today, not going too far. But I thought I'd take this opportunity to do the 10 question challenge. SmokeyBarr and Mr Faffington not so long ago did the challenge, and both of them nominated me to answer the questions, so I thought I'd give it a whirl. Well, question number one, when did you start riding motorcycle? So when I was about 15, 16, my dad had a couple of bikes, and one of those was a Honda Melody, which I'll put a picture up of now. Basically a glorified scooter, 90cc, pile of crap, but I used to ride it up and down the garden, which was a laugh, and I used to go on the back of it with my dad, and we used to go at this thing called Darling Banks in Medway, which is, if anybody knows where Darling Banks is, it's basically a long kind of winding hill, but this bike, it was so underpowered that literally I could get off and walk quicker with both of us being on the back of it, both of us being on the bike. So, I mean, it was my first experience really of being on a motorcycle, was riding that thing up and down my back garden. And then my aunt married into money. She had a massive mansion in Kingsclear, which is near Newbury, and it was called Kipscroft, this place. It was huge, 150 acres of land, tennis courts, horse yard, swimming pool, sauna, the works. Ridiculous. Every room had a bathroom, like an ensuite. It was huge, humongous place. I spent a lot of my summer holidays there, and it was epic. It was really, really great. Anyway, they had a quad, and then one year my uncle bought a pedal-powered moped. They're mental, right? So you've got two pedals, just like you would on a normal push bike, and you push a button in on the like a starter button, and then you pedal like mad, give it a bit of gas, and this thing will go. And I'll tell you what, it was fun. It was pretty quick, and it was good fun. And I rode this thing over. Well, he bought it, and over 2 weeks of me being there with my mate, we rode this thing into the ground. It just totaled it. The forks were bent. It was fucked. It was absolutely fucked. It wasn't made for going off-road, and we were like hooning it through woods on it. It was mental. It was great fun. And that was probably my first real experience of being on a motorbike at speed, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But when I turned 17, I kind of had, it was time to get a bike or get a car, and I just really wanted a bike. And my dad talked me out of it, and he said maybe you should get a car, because then you can go out with your friends, and you can take your friends out with you, and on a bike you can't really do that. And so he kind of talked me out of it, and I got a car, and for years I just drove around in a car, and it was the right thing to do, because I would have fucking killed myself by now, I reckon, if I'd started young, because I was a bit of a maniac when I was younger. Which, SmokeyBarr, if you're watching this video, you're spending the night chatting to me in the Premier Inn, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I was a bit of a fucking maniac when I was younger, and yeah, I probably would have killed myself. So it was a good decision. But later on in my life, I really wanted to take up motorcycling. So I would say officially a year and 3 months ago, I started riding. That was when I got my licence. I did the DAS, and I went straight into it. And within a month, I passed my test and got a bike. So that brings me on to question number 2. Why did you start riding? Well, I kind of explained it really. It's something I always wanted to do, and it was just the next thing to do in my life. Actually, I'd been doing paragliding a lot up until that point, and one of the things that I loved about paragliding was the adrenaline rush, and it was really good fun. But it's a pain. You've got to really kind of drive somewhere to get there, and then sit on a hill for half a day hoping that the wind's going to be just right, and then you launch, and you're either up there for hours or you're up there for 10 minutes. But also, you don't have a lot of control. You don't control the weather. You don't control things like how strong a thermal is, and therefore I don't like feeling out of control, and that feeling of not having my destiny in my hands started to worry me. And so I put my wings in the cupboard and I took up motorcycling. Because yeah, it's dangerous. You still get a really good adrenaline rush, but you've got a lot more control over your destiny. You can ride like a fucking twat and kill yourself. You can ride like a twat and be really lucky. You can ride safe and get killed by some moron on the road. But at least you've got the options. You know, you've got options to ride how you want to ride, and you can make it as safe, relatively as safe as you want, or as dangerous as you want. So yeah, that's why I took up motorcycling. Which leads me on to question 3. So what was your first motorcycle? Well, for those of you who watch my channel, you should all know this. It was the BMW F800R. That's the motorcycle I bought straight after my DAS. I bought it outright, so I was lucky enough to have no finance on it at all, and I loved it. Watch my review of it, my long-term review of it. But if you're just starting out and you want a big bike, something that's got enough power to have some fun with, that's really great in the bend but isn't a complete maniac, something perfect to get you started on, BMW F800R all the way. Fantastic motorbike. So question number 4, how many bikes have you ridden? Well, 4. So it's the Honda Melody, the pedal powered moped, the F800R, BMW F800R, and the BMW S1000XR, which is what I'm riding now. Question number 5, what is your dream bike? I'm riding it. It's the BMW S1000XR. I've been dreaming about this bike ever since it came out, and I bought one, or this one, about a month ago, and I fucking love it. The next question, off-road or street? Well, I've done a bit of off-roading with the pedal powered moped, but I've never done any child biking or anything like that. But off-road is fun. I know it is, because I've fucked around on a motorbike off-road before. But I'd say street. I'm a street biker, and although I am thinking about getting a second bike, street biking is my priority. It's the way for me. Next question, have you ever fallen off or had an accident? Well, touch wood, I've never had an accident. 2 times I dropped my F800R. Both of them, embarrassingly, were just either on the driveway or just as I was coming out of the fucking driveway. So the first one, I was alongside the bike, wheeling it out of the garage, and I had the kickstand down, just in case, so that I could put it on the kickstand, but obviously also to protect in case I did accidentally drop it. And I went to put the weight of the bike on the kickstand, and the kickstand wasn't fully engaged, and it flipped out, it flipped back in, and the whole weight of the bike just came crashing down on me, and I kind of jumped out of the way, landed on my ribs on my side. I just had a t-shirt on the concrete floor, which actually really fucking hurt. Ended up stupid. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but I ended up going away A&E. So, and it was about a week later, but I had a massive bruise on my side, and it really kind of hurt to breathe. And I thought, well, maybe I've just done a hairline fracture or something, because I landed with quite a thud. It was, in the end, what had happened was I damaged the cartilage, and so it wasn't a fracture, but I damaged the cartilage. They could see it on the x-ray, and it just took a while to get back. And I got to say, that made me really think about what it would be like to fall off a bike at speed. And, you know, thank the stars, I'm clever enough to ride protective gear with protective gear all the time. The next time I was on the bike, so yes, I did fall off it. I was coming out of the driveway. I was sitting waiting for this woman to go past in her car, when she suddenly decided she was going to let me out, and I just wasn't expecting it, and I just panicked and went, okay, I'm going to go, and I kind of went off to go quick, still kind of getting used to the F800R. I hadn't long been riding, and I just fucking dropped the clutch, stalled the bloody thing, and I stalled it halfway through going around the corner, and we all know what happens, fucking thing just dropped. I was like, fuck, dropped down, and luckily no damage to me, little or no damage done to the bike, and that was that. So the next question, when did you start motovlogging? Well, about a year ago. And the reason I started was because actually
in my social life, I don't know any bikers. I mean, I do now, but when I started riding, I didn't know any bikers, and I thought to myself, well, if I can get into the vlogger community, it's a really good way of meeting bikers and getting in with a group of people who I can go out riding with. And that's worked out really well. I never thought that a year later I'd have 193 subscribers now. Thank you, all of you, for watching my stuff. I really appreciate all of your comments, all of your likes, all of your subscribes. Thank you for following me. I really, really appreciate it. I honestly thought I'd have about 10 subscribers, if that. And you know, nobody knows that I do this my girlfriend knows, but my parents don't know, none of my family knows, my friends don't know. So all those subscribers are just you guys out there who've found my channel one reason or another, and you like it, which is awesome. It's the best compliment I could ever get, so thank you so much. Nearly at 200 people. So yeah, that's why I started. So the next question, what motovlogger channels do you follow? Well, there's so many. I actually did a bit of a cull recently, if I'm being totally honest, because when I first started, I had this kind of thing of subscribing to everybody that subscribed to me, and there is a bit of that in the motovlogger community. There is a bit of you vlog for, you know, you subscribe to me and I'll subscribe to you, and that's fine if that's what you want to do, but actually I want people to subscribe to me because they want to follow my channel and look at my videos. Equally, I'd like people to think that the reason I subscribe to their channel is because I like their content and not because I want them to subscribe to me. So I did a bit of a cull to kind of get myself down to the people whose videos I watch. Some I watch really regularly, some I watch every now and then, but people whose videos I actually watch. If I had to give you my top list, then I mean, obviously Baron von Grumble, he's my favourite vlogger. Smo is such a great guy and really, really easy to watch, really like his stuff. SmokeyBarr, who I spend a lot of my time on the bike is, I see Smokey, he's a really great guy, but actually he's just got such a great dry wit. I really love his channel. I think he's really good, and he's one to watch. For me, he's one of those guys that I could see kind of getting up there with some of the big names. He just needs a bit more people to, a few more people to find his channel and get his name out there. But if you don't watch SmokeyBarr, honestly, go and watch. He's really good, really quite funny, great dry wit, and yeah, he's a really nice guy. So get out there to Mr SmokeyBarr. Mr Faffington, again, another really nice guy. He's got some interesting stuff, and he's doing his Ducati build, which is interesting. We want to see more of those, Faff. Get on it, come on. House of Jim, another great guy, lives near me, really nice. He's got a Ninja and he's got a Harley. I saw his Harley the other day. It's awesome. It's an awesome bike. But he's another really great guy, worth watching. Phil 480, he's great. Metalhead, who was my first subscriber, and he's a good guy as well. So yeah, I mean, there's so many. I just can't think of them all. But yeah, I guess Baron, Smo, Smokey, Lammy IOW, they're probably in my top. Yeah, they're the ones that I will consistently watch their videos. And if I didn't mention you, of the people that I subscribe to, I'm really sorry. And the last question, do I have a name for my bike? Well, I didn't have a name for the F800R, and I thought about calling the F800R something like Gabriella, just because I like the name. It's a bit weird, but here you go. But when I got the S1000 XR, it's such a schizophrenic of a bike that I just really wanted to name it, and I was really struggling with I wanted some kind of, kind of Viking warrior, kind of ridiculous name like Thor or something like that, Aphrodite, something mental like that. And in my first vlog on this bike, I actually kept calling it the Beast. And I got somebody called Essential Influences commented on that video and said, I think you've named it already. It's the Beast. And yep, this is the Beast. That is the name of this bike, and it fits very, very well. So thanks a lot, Essential, for again for making that comment and helping me decide on the name of the video, of the bike, sorry. Yeah, so anyway, thanks for checking in, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Oh, I guess I better nominate someone, so I am going to nominate House of Jim. Take it easy, people. Catch you on the next one.